All right, everyone, good morning and welcome to episode number three of the RDO Podcast. As always, I'm Jason Boncalis, as my brother and co-host Alex. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see that you've dressed up for the pod
Fuck
today.
off, mate. Fuck off.
Let me illustrate it first.
All right, so
what was the shirt? $5?
I don't know. It was a gift.
Okay, it was a cheap
As most
gift.
of my clothes were.
And the shorts also look like $5 specials. So you
Also a gift.
you put $10.
I bought the shoes though.
Yeah, okay.
So
It's the matching red I cop. That's cool.
I thought you'd like that. Because obviously I am also debuting the new haircut, which you might be surprised to realise this. I did this myself because
I can tell.
yeah, it's phased. So I thought in honour of my fast haircut, I'll wear some fast clothes because everything's faster in red, just like cars.
Yeah. It
Meanwhile,
also fades very quick and looks like shit.
Meanwhile, so I don't know if any of you guys are fans of Andrew Schultz at all and have seen some of the Flagrant 2 podcasts. Did you actually buy that out of the Andrew Schultz online store?
No, I'll tell you.
Because you've got to unbutton it down to about here first.
No, because I don't have a chest. So
Neither does he.
No, I'll tell you why.
But he's
So
skinny too.
These button-ups, look, I wanted to get out of just t-shirts,
Right.
and I thought you get to that age where you start buttoning up. And I bought some stuff online on the Deus shop, which is my favorite brand. I bought a stack of pants. I bought a pair of shorts.
Yep.
And I bought a pair of pants that were almost like the shorts were the short version of the pants.
Right.
Okay? Both in the same size.
Matching, like same pattern.
They'll just plain.
Right.
Plain. So I tried the shorts on, and the shorts fit awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I tried the pants on, and I was muffin topping like crazy. It was disgusting, but it was the exact same. So I emailed them and I said, look, I'm muffin topping like the Michelin Man on these things.
Yeah.
And then I realised that I didn't need to email them. There's actually in the satchel, there's a send back thing. There's already a...
So they know it. So it happens so often that they know they have to send it back.
But I would have assumed like the same shape, same model line of clothes, completely different sizing. Anyway, so they gave me store credit, and I'm like, to me that's like, oh, it's free money. Right? That's my brain. That's free money.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, that shirt on special, obviously.
Obviously.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm having that, and I like it.
You would like it. If you refer back to last week's episode where we both said that we're not fashionistas, now you've seen exactly what we're talking about. Also on debut today are the patented The RDO Podcast coffee mugs.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Oh, water tastes so much better out of a branded mug.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they talk about branding and obviously how much value you can add to the exact same product just by putting a brand name on it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example.
Perfect example is your shirt. That's the opposite.
Well, exactly.
There's no value in it,
Yeah.
no brand, because the people that made that shirt are embarrassed.
No, but you see, I create the value in the shirt. So I don't require a brand name label
By forcing
to stand
the
out
stretchiness
myself.
of the shirt to its limits.
Well, you see, this is actually because this shirt was bigger, but I did throw it in the dryer. And because it is a cheap shirt, it didn't handle it very well. And as I was already running late this morning to get here, and we're in a little bit of a hurry today, I kind of just threw on some shit and ran out the door. Because
You got the shit part right, that's correct.
yeah,
That's true.
Because Kiddo was not really that cool last night. So one thing that I learned as a parent and as a new parent is about nap times. And nap times are actually a science, and you'd have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
Incorrect.
When it comes to kids,
You
have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we've got Kiddo on a bit of a routine. So it's sort of like, it's every day is roughly the same. So he wakes up about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
You keep him awake for about 2 hours, and then you try to put him down for his first nap. Now that first nap's got to be around a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
No more, no less. Once he's up after that half hour, you keep him awake for about 2.5 hours, and then he goes down again for his lunch nap. And the lunch nap's supposed to be the big one. It's supposed to be about 2 hours long at the moment. So he's about 6-7 months old now. Because it changes all the time, like every month. That's why, like, you know, when you don't have kids and everyone's like, oh, my kid's like 24 weeks old. And you're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like,
you're one? You're zero?
Yeah, 0,
You're
1. No difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing how all the different cycles the whole way through, everything changes. So anyway, so you do the 2-hour nap at lunchtime, and then if they sleep through that well, they're supposed to have like a little nap maybe in the afternoon. If they don't sleep well, you give them a little bit of a longer nap, and then that actually makes it easier for them to go down. So the surprising thing about kids, and I guess adults can be the same too, but if you don't get their naps right, they're fucking nightmares during the night. So yesterday, everything went according to plan. So Amanda's gone back to doing some more relief teaching over the last 3 days. So it's all me. So I'm focused, and I'm like, all right, first nap, out of the way, perfect. And the kids like clockwork too. So once you give them to go to sleep, half an hour later, wham, like you hear it straight away. Got him down perfectly for the second nap as well. So did the full 2 hours, which my wife gets super jealous of too, because oftentimes he won't do the full 2-hour nap when she's at home, because I do seem to be better at putting down for the midday nap than she is. But then the problem was yesterday afternoon, so he seemed perfectly fine. I'm like, right, he did the full 2 hours, probably doesn't need an arvo nap. Mm-hmm. But then by like 5:30, he started looking really tired, and it's too early to put him to sleep. So normally you'll start the bedtime routine about 6 o'clock, and the bedtime routine is feed him real food, bathe him, clean him up, dress him up in all of his pajamas, and he's got this little sleepy sack thing too, which keeps him warm, and then put him down and hope that he goes to sleep by about 7 o'clock. It takes about an hour. Mm. So anyway, he's just passed out at 5:30, and we're like, shit, because then we just knew at that point in time we're in for a tough night.
He's out of sync.
Yeah, because it's either you wake him up, but then because he's so exhausted, it's like, do you wake him up now and you hope that you can get him back down? But if they're overtired, they don't go to sleep either. Or do you let him sleep a little bit and then you just push his bedtime back a little bit and you hope that he's going to go to bed? So that's what we tried to do. So we let him sleep for a little bit, push him back a little bit. Worst fucking idea ever. So he went to bed at about 8 o'clock, so he was in bed about 7. So we put him to bed at 8, and he was up. I gave him what they call a dream feed before I went to bed, which is you literally just walk in with a bottle while they're asleep, shove it in their mouth, and they just eat it. Which it looks like people have been dream feeding me for years as well. But then after that, it's like he was up at 12, 1:30 for an hour and a half with me. He got up again at 3 o'clock, up again at 5 o'clock. So that's part of the reason why I was late today.
I want to say this. All you parents that talk about all these baby things, mm-hmm. everything you described just then,
yep,
is normal life stuff. Your son's bedding regime is identical to mine, except I go to bed at 9 o'clock, not 7. That's the only difference.
Well, because you get up to pee at 1, at 3,
No,
at 5.
No, not last night's one. Mm. Because I'm a big enough boy to know when I need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So, the naps, like, my ideal day is that. I know that. And I know if I oversleep, on a Sunday, you start day drinking, and you have a 3-hour nap in the afternoon, you're not sleeping that night.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, but if you have a 45-minute power nap, and I'm talking one of those power naps where you wake up in a pool of your own saliva.
Yeah, they're the good ones.
You're still going to use...
I'm a shit napper though.
Yeah,
I've been a shit napper for a long time.
But I don't think you put any effort into it. I put a lot of effort into it.
I think
I listen to my body. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's either, if I need to do something, it's like a double espresso to get me going. But on a day off, it's time for a nap.
Yeah. I think, like, the reason why I'm a shit napper is because just years in the motor trade, where often Sundays are your only day off, where it's like, I need to be doing stuff in this time, and napping felt like dead time, even though it's so important for your health too.
I read an interesting article that talked about the best way to retain a new
skill
is to do the skill, the new thing, and then sleep. Straight away. It programs it.
Yeah, so you need to, like, because I think I might have read or watched something similar recently too, where you need to focus really, really hard on it, give it intense focus to the point where your adrenaline spikes.
Yeah.
Because having your adrenaline spike is actually the trigger to your brain to open those pathways and start strengthening the neurons and whatever it is that you're doing. Because when you think about it from an evolutionary perspective, it makes perfect sense, right? If you were fully focused on something as a caveman, what were you focused on? A threat So you need to get that adrenaline spike. Your brain needs to go, okay, whatever I do right now, if I survive this, this works. So I need to make that neural pathway really easy to go
putting too
down.
much efficacy on that science. Do you think
No.
Unga Bunga just went Unga Bunga dung and like?
Nah, man, no, because the survivors pass their genetics on.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
so Unga Bunga's mate.
If you believe in evolution.
But Unga Bunga's mate, who died because he's a dum-dum, didn't get to pass his genetics on.
Yeah, but he
so
didn't
the genes
go-
are passed on
he
by the
didn't-
survivors.
But he didn't go, oh, Jeff did that. Because I don't think, did they communicate?
Well, yeah, no, they probably did. Well, it's exactly
Is
the...
it just luck?
No.
Were they just lucky?
Well, some of it's got...
I sent you a video this morning.
You did send me
Did
about
you
it.
watch it?
I did watch it, actually. I did. And at the beginning...
So are we asking the Neanderthals if they thought that they were lucky? No, we never do that. A
well,
lot of them are just lucky.
well, look, some of them are lucky, but again, your genetics are passed on by the survivors. So it makes perfect sense. And it's the same reason why shit works today that worked back then. Why the fuck do car dealerships do sales anymore? Because fear of missing out still works. So
I don't think so.
it still
No,
works.
FOMO works. FOMO works.
Yep, fear of missing out.
But the sale doesn't work.
But the whole point of a sale is to give people the sense of FOMO. So the whole point of a sale is on the Saturday afternoon, it's like, oh, you got to do this deal now because I can't do the same deal
Yeah.
on Monday. And it still works on people today. Not everyone,
No.
granted, but it still works on people
That's
today.
not my problem with the sale. My problem with the sale is I would like two similar dealerships to line up and do 1 year where they run a sale every quarter,
Mhm.
and then the other dealership does no sales. And I reckon the total number of cars sold in that year
Will be the same.
will be the same.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, if we've ever been part of it, you drag all the people forward into the sale. Oh, sorry, you hold people back that were going to buy a car the week before,
Yeah.
or the fortnight before, and you drop them into the sale to pump your sale figures.
Mhm.
And then after you've hit the market so hard, you've dragged all these people in, nothing happens after.
Yeah, well, it's the whole
So
thing
all
about-
you've done is added stress to a
Yeah.
situation.
and also added investment too, because the
Yeah.
amount of money that dealerships but manufacturers too drop on the advertising going, do this now, and like it's not only the paid advertising, but it's the factory support to offer certain offers that they pay to the dealerships
Yeah.
as well. It's that whole like June, July hangover thing. So all that manufacturers hit the advertising so hard in June that it's like, all right, get in now, buy this, we're going to give you this special offer. And then July just completely falls off a cliff because they pull all the advertising and you pull all the customers forward.
Yeah.
Which, again, if you didn't do all that advertising in June, you're naturally going to get the ABN holders who are going to come in because their accountants are telling them, go and spend some money before the end of the year. Those special offers, look, they can help bring people forward, but instead of having all the advertising going, hey, do this, do this, do this now, why wouldn't you just run the same offer over June and July and spread the customers over the two?
It's just an excuse.
Or smash it all into June and then close for a month.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mental health attributes that are probably not looked at.
Yeah.
But we've never seen the data. We've never seen the no one has not done a sale. So we don't know how effective it is because we don't have the data.
No, but I think, again, getting back to the evolutionary thing, which I do think that people don't put enough stock in. They don't put enough stock in it. Look at the fucking internet, man. The internet is an absolute cesspool of negativity. All the clickbait stuff is all potentially negative headline, and everyone clicks on all that sort of stuff.
Actually, it's really funny, just on that topic. I said it to Tasha this morning. I was flicking through my Facebook feed, and the comments that were shown at the top of just about everything was negative.
Yep.
Now, I'm very aware of the algorithm, right?
Yep.
I'm a nerd when it comes to that stuff. I know that the effects that advertisers or what Facebook is trying to portray, but I kind of hack my my algorithm. I don't buy into any of that stuff. I don't get into. So I only like nice things. I only interact with nice
Says
things.
the guy who gets into fucking arguments on Facebook comments.
Not in the comments. Only direct by Messenger.
You've had some comment battles in your time.
In the past, but I've learned that's ineffective, so I don't do it. so I do it directly with them.
Yeah.
But I've noticed recently it's all been negative, and I'm wondering, because Facebook has done it and used Australia as an example to see if they could negatively influence or positively influence an audience.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if I'm on the test side, if they're retesting,
I don't think you are, man. I think it's symptomatic of our society where we're at today. So I think, look, number one, evolutionary speaking, people do focus more on negative things than positive things. And they do share more negative things than positive things. Because again, if you go back to the caveman days, you think about, okay, if you saw Unga Bunga's mate eat that red berry and then he died, you would go and tell everyone that you knew, hey, don't eat those red berries because they'll kill you, because Unga Bunga's mate just died, right? However, on the opposite side, there's a positive thing. So if you walk past those red berries and you saw a small batch of bananas that were like starting to ripen, you wouldn't tell anyone. You might tell your close family, going, hey, we've got to keep these resources to ourselves because there's an opportunity there. So we're programmed to share negative and to keep positive stuff to ourselves. That's number one. Number two, then you've got pack mentality, right? So no one wants to actually stand alone because, again, thinking back to an evolutionary perspective, if you were ostracized from your group as a caveman, you're fucked. You're dead. You're gone. We're still like that today. And the internet is completely full of it because everyone is in factions. No one's allowed to change their mind. It is amazing how you'll see arguments that will kick up on the internet, right? And I've got a point of view and you've got a point of view. And you actually do such a good job at eloquently laying out your point of view that I go, you know what? I think you might be right there, and I've changed my opinion. Next thing you know, my tribe I was a part of rains fucking hell on me because how dare you change your opinion? You're part of our group. So that pack mentality is still alive and prospering on the internet.
But also research bias online is you are only, because of the way the algorithm works, you're only going to find things that support your view.
Well, that's right. You're in an echo chamber of your own thoughts because those are the things that if you click on those things, your algorithm's going to keep throwing them up to you. So you're not even going to see the other perspective. We were literally talking about this a couple of days ago and we thought we might bring it up, but it's just come up sort of organically. But is the internet broken?
So I had lunch with a friend. We have lots of weird and wonderful conversations, but I was very critical of this free YouTube movement.
Right.
Just to give you a bit of backstory, it looks like our Australian media companies are upset that their content gets consumed by us, the user, and they receive next to no income from it.
Yeah.
And the ad revenue goes to the Googles, the Facebook, YouTubes. So they want a larger proportion, which I tend to agree with.
Yeah.
Not to the point what they said. But the solution that they had is insane. The solution they had is give us access to the algorithm.
Yeah.
So that they can just shock us and they can push their content to the top of the list.
Yeah.
That's not the news.
The scariest thing for me, right, is we're old enough that we grew up in a world without the internet, right? And when the internet first came through, it was dial-up, it was slow.
I'll give you, to paint a picture of people that are young, I remember, I think it was 1994, I think, one computer in our school, it was in the library, had the internet, and I was doing a project on Indy cars, and all I wanted to do was download a picture to paste it from there, or print it, cut it out, and paste it onto a piece of cardboard, which is what you did back then. And it took 45 minutes, and this much of a picture this big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I never saw the picture.
No.
I saw the top of the driver's head, and I never saw the car. That's what the internet was in '94.
Yeah, but again, as it got better and better, the biggest benefit of the internet was the free distribution of information. So it sort of heralded this new generation where all of a sudden we weren't forced to consume all our information from the mainstream media outlets that are owned by politicians and corporations.
Yeah.
Right? So we've been fed an agenda by those companies since those companies were created. They don't report the news. They report the news they want to report,
Well, no, I think
which feeds a narrative.
Look, it sounds really conspiratorial.
You'd be naive to think that it wasn't the case.
No, but I think back in the day, you only reported what was there. They then realised as competition increased in that space, they needed to find shock value to get people on.
I don't even think it was that though. Like, I think you'd be naive to think that politicians weren't approaching the stakeholders of these major companies and going, hey, we'll help you out if you only do stories that peddle this narrative. And I think this whole YouTube thing now is a really good example of that. Why the fuck is the government even speaking to these companies? Because what these companies are basically saying is this: a disruptor has come along. Let's say YouTube. YouTube is a disruptor, right? So they've come along and they've created a business model which has people like us sending them free content, which they don't have to pay to produce. All they need to do is put up the platform so they can share it, and then they can create ad revenue from that. So disruptors come along into the marketplace and affected the way that it's going. Now, I think these media companies are rightfully upset that their content that they pay money to produce is being put up via YouTube and being monetized for YouTube and not for them.
Yeah, that does
I can understand
unfair.
It does. So, a couple of parts to this. Number one, why is the solution not that either YouTube pays for their content or they say, you know what, we are going to remove all of our content from YouTube. So if I'm Channel 9, for example, I go, no Channel 9 story is going to be shown on YouTube. So I know I'm going to burn a large amount of people who may actually consume my content, but it's my content, I created it. Unless you're paying me for it, I'm not putting it on your platform. Because at the end of the day, they put it up there to get more exposure, build their business, and get their own ad revenue. And that ad revenue comes in the form of, I watch a thing on YouTube, I actually think that story is really good, I'm going to tune into a current affair on Sunday or whatever it is, right? But they're not doing that. They're just trying to get access to something that's not theirs, and obviously try to monetize out of it further. The other thing that concerns me about this, though, is that the Australian government is even hearing this out. Because why would they hear it out? Because
but it's fair. It is fair to say that why is someone else being allowed to profiteer on my work? So I get that.
So when the taxi companies went off because Uber came in, and the taxi companies were like, we need to pay all this money for these taxi licenses, and these guys don't have to. What did the government do?
They reduced the price of a taxi license. They did do something.
By how much? You still had to get one, and Uber drivers don't. Right? So
they just need to weather the storm because Uber will fall over.
Yeah. Because Uber hasn't been profitable since it started.
It's lost billions of dollars.
Because every ride is subsidised by our investors. Which a lot of people know that.
And I know that some states in America now, you have proper, was it like wage law now?
But
because I think the stat was something like the average Uber driver, after expenses, cleared $3 an hour.
Yeah, it's sick for some people.
Uber was, and this is the thing that gets me, Uber was never supposed to be that. Uber was supposed to be a ride share like I drive, like your drive from Gold Coast to Brisbane when you're working in Brisbane. That you could carpool with someone, and there was a platform generated so that you could get some petrol money.
That's right.
On the way up. That's what it was supposed to be. Then it morphed into this, hey, I can do this as a job. I think we've realised that doesn't.
And again, that's what happens with everything, right? So the early adopters made a lot of money out of Uber because they're the only ones doing it, and then everyone went, oh shit, they're making all this money out of it, I'm going to go and do that, and then they ruin it. But getting back to the point, do not tell me for a second that there aren't high-ranking government officials speaking to the higher-ups at these big media outlets and going, okay, so you've come to us with this proposal saying that you want us to do something about what YouTube's doing with your content. Well, what's in it for us? And then the media companies are going, well, how about this? Do you want to get re-elected?
I think it's the other way around. I think the companies are pushing the politicians. I think the companies are in...
Well, absolutely. So the companies have gone to them. The politicians go, well, what's in it for me? And then the companies go, well, if you want to get re-elected, I've always been a traditionally liberal station. I can go Labor.
Forget all the politics, though. Forget all the conspiracy theories. And I do think all that stuff happens. But don't you have a problem with the platform providing getting the lion's share when they haven't really produced anything?
Well, no, because
the money going back to America.
I actually don't. Look, money going offshore, that's a problem. But again, if I mentioned this to you last week, if the government was really serious about evening the playing field, which is what they're talking about, then they would be just trying to go after companies like Apple and making Apple pay the correct amount of tax in this country.
For sure.
Which they can't do because we all know that Apple's got more money than the Australian government has.
Yeah.
Right?
And if I was the Prime Minister of Australia, I'd ban Apple products until they start paying.
Well...
And then people would lose their minds.
Yep.
And it'll suck for a little bit and everyone will be rolling the worst LG
but then,
or Nokia will come back.
Yeah, I know, but someone's obviously sucking the tea. Someone's sucking the tea.
I won't get re-elected. I know that. But I have a problem with Apple holding $1 trillion of cash in Ireland because that's where that's where your bills go.
That's right.
Yet the money is here.
100%. And again, how have we allowed that to happen in this country and all over the world? Naivety. We were so quick to go, oh yeah, I love the iPod. Do whatever you want. Like that's got to be the way that it happened, right? Like
just
so
short-sighted. Being asleep at the wheel economically, in terms of law creation.
And see, this is the big issue when you've got political systems like what we do, where you're getting re-elected every 4 years. Because every single decision that's made in this country is short term.
Yeah. It's
all about what is going to get me votes at this upcoming election.
Well, this is so if I was Prime Minister, I would last the 4 years. I'd be ousted because the next person that came through would give everyone a free iPhone, and that would be enough to get it back in.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Well, fuck, Kevin 07 was a good example of that.
And that's why, and I don't want to get political. We should change the subject very shortly, but
we should go back to that fucking abortion of a shirt.
No, not the shirt. The China has a communist leader with a long-term plan, executing the long-term plan to great effect.
Because he's playing Go.
Yeah.
And everyone else is playing chess.
Absolutely.
And then that's the other thing too, because you got to think about Russia with Putin as well. Like long-term leadership allows you to put in long-term plans.
Yeah, but they just haven't done it as well as what China has.
Well, no, absolutely. But I mean, perfect example is what happened this week with Anthony Seibold finally getting booted from the Broncos. Yay! Now, in fairness, not all Anthony Seibold's fault. Paul White's got to go as well. He's going at the end of the year. We're going to go through a massive rebuild. But this is a perfect example, right? So we had a young club. I say young club, a club full of young players with a lot of potential. We brought in a coach who was seen as a bit of a prodigy because he looked like he was a bit of a prodigy when he was at the Rabbitohs. He was fortunate, and this comes back to the luck thing too. Came in, got the right job when he had the right team. They gave him a long-term deal with the idea of him guiding this group of young players for 5 years to build them into a power club again. But now we're 18 months into a 5-year deal, he's gone.
Yeah.
So this permeates everything in Australia at the moment. Our politics, our organisations, where there are no long-term plans. And we're in this...
But his long-term plan sucked. And he did not have the tools.
He didn't have the tools.
And he's got no evidence of saying that there was a long-term plan in the making either. Well, his long-term plan would have been, give me a good team and I'll make it better.
Yeah, well, probably. But the other thing too is that's got to come down the whole organisation as well. So the whole organisation is responsible for having a long-term plan for the organisation, not just the coach or the manager.
But let's circle back to the internet.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the internet.
So this is what I was getting to. So the biggest concern that I've got at the moment is the internet has now become what the mainstream media outlets were. Because it's, again, all completely about monetisation, all of it, which means people are catering to the masses to just make money out of the internet, which means we're in the fake news era now. Yeah. So 5 to 10 years ago, we were talking about this being the information era. So you had guys like what's old mate from WikiLeaks?
Julian Assange.
Julian Assange. So he's spilled out all this information that the public needed to know about. And we're heralding this new age. It's the information age. How good is that? The business people, the smart ones, like the Donald Trumps of the world, have figured out how to fuck the system for us again. What do? Just fill it with fake news. And start talking about everything being fake news.
Again, I think you're putting way too much credence on political parties. They have no idea what's going on. It's the companies. The companies are steering the ship, and they are making. And you've got these massive companies that are so big. There's no way to compete. If I created a platform that was better than Facey or better than YouTube, they'd just buy me out. And me being a person, the number would just keep going higher. Yeah. And it's small change. It's like flicking a match at me. Like, oh, here, have $1 billion. Yeah. No, get out of my face. And I'll show it, just like the oil companies did with electric cars. Yeah. So what is the solution to it? Because you're not going to be able to compete. Okay? I agree with you. The internet is trash now. It used to be this fun, beautiful place where...
The internet lets us fucking talk shit on it.
Yeah, but it is the misinformation age now.
Yeah.
It is a monetized misinformation page, and it's a massive data collection thing now. So, what's the solution? Because I've got one. It's not mine. I stole it off my phone. New internet. Is it time for a new version of the internet?
It's called the Outernet.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I like that.
It's copyrighted. It's copyrighted.
Well, we're about to be interplanetary.
Elon, call me, bro.
No, think about that. We're about to be interplanetary. It's currently called the World Wide Web, the Universal Wide Web, the UWW, uwww.autobros.com.au, right? And can we get rid of the dots? The dots suck, right? And I know that Google did that, but there is an opportunity out there to create an internet that is not just a revolving billboard of consumption, not just a platform to change opinions, make you think a certain way. Yeah. Let's try and advance our civilization. Yeah. Right? That's what I think we should be in the position. The internet is such a powerful tool to advance our...
But that's the tough thing, right? Is advancing our civilization doesn't make money. The big corporations make money by not advancing civilization.
But if we were an advanced civilization, we won't need money. Here's the thing. So if we... And I think we'd spoken about it before, like getting robots to do stuff, right? So the rough maths is that if a robot can do your job, they're 90% more efficient. They can work 90% more of the time, and they cost 90% less, right? So by that metric, life should be a cost of 10%, like it should be 90% off. Yeah. Right? So we don't need large amounts of money. We could need small amounts of money.
No, but at the end of the day, we still do. Because without large amounts of money, how are ugly blokes going to get laid?
They have to be funny.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be enough. No, because there's going to be good-looking blokes that are going to be funny too. Because money's not going to be the metric anymore. No. Okay. Money's not going to be the metric anymore.
Mate. You've missed the trick. Robots are going to do it better, bro. Robots are going to do it better. They're going to do it better. They already make sex robots.
Yeah. I actually just watched Whitney Cummins' comedy special the other day, where she actually has the sex robot stage. It's pretty funny, but it's scary what they're doing and the amount of detail.
That's not even close to where it could be.
Yeah, I know, but look, and obviously sex robots will probably become mainstream at some point, just like dillies have, right? Once upon a time.
It's the same thing. It's just a more advanced version of it.
Well, exactly right. It's just taken to the next level. Mind you, I do feel like there is a stigma attached to sex robots because. Forgive me if I
fucking should be.
No. Hear me out, right? Right. So women have used vibrators and dillies for, let's say, 20 years, and it's been a pretty well-known thing.
Didn't they find an ancient, like a 15,000-year-old dildo?
I'm sure, and that's probably just a club that's just broken down.
That looks like a
dick. But let's say, so women, and it's been in movies and stuff where they're like,
men use them too.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like there is a stigma against men using sex aids on themselves. So consider this, the vibrator as opposed to the fleshlight.
No, but women need it because men are shit.
Well, yeah, but consider this, the stigma around the vibrator to the stigma around the fleshlight. So if a woman has a vibrator, everyone's like, oh yeah, I get it. Sort of makes sense. And that's become more widely accepted. So women will sit around and they will discuss with each other how useless their husbands are, and that's why they've got this vibrator and that vibrator. And they have like these like Tupperware parties where they go to and they talk about their sex aids and shit, right? Imagine a bunch of blokes just sitting around and go, oh man, I got the new like Fleshlight Sucker 2000, mate. It's the realest thing ever. Like I threw out my old fleshy and I've got this new one.
Do you want to know why a fleshlight is dirtier than a dildo?
Because you're coming up.
Yeah, because you can't see what's happening inside it. So I'm not mechanically minded, but I'll clean the outside of the car. But I'm not sticking my fingers in the engine.
Is that why you like...
I'm not sticking my fingers inside the engine.
Is that why you like dicks more than pussies? Because you can't see what's inside a pussy, but you can see a dick? Because that shirt indicates that you do.
Your shirt looks like the end of a dick.
Yeah. I'm signalling. This is called signalling.
You are signalling something.
I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly. But, so that's the whole thing. So I feel like... And again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Are there any women out there who are going, fuck yeah, I'm going to get myself a good sex robot?
I think that's the market. I think that's the market that you should be attracting, because
females.
Yeah, over the male market. A, women are making more money now than what they had before. Let me finish.
Okay.
And B, they're the ones being disappointed. The men are fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
We'll take whatever's there. We'll use the path of least resistance. Women are the one out there being disenfranchised by sex.
Yeah, true.
Because it ain't that good. It ain't that good, right? But if you can make a robot, right? Right? It's better, and we need to we need to gather that data.
But I feel like if a male sex robot malfunctions, it could be more damaging or more dangerous than if a female sex robot.
You put advanced sensors in it to stop that.
Because
and a kill switch. Right there. Can you imagine if Skynet? Can you imagine if the T-1000 was the sex robot? So like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but just with a rod like that.
I absolutely can.
Come on!
That fucking double barrel
shotgun. Come on!
From Terminator 2.
Yeah. What if that was the... Imagine being a more advanced civilization and looking back, oh, do you know in 2025 the world was overrun by an advanced artificial intelligence embodied by sex robots, because the women of the time were so disappointed with real men.
But okay, so
and then having the fire, and then like the stomp on the skull there, and just seeing like some fake balls hanging in the bottom of the shot.
And just a wang.
Just sort of hanging.
Like Frank the Tank.
That could happen.
But see, the other problem, I think one of the main reasons why men are always still going to be the market for sex robots, though. Number one, we're disgusting, right? Compared to women, we are disgusting.
There's no number two.
Captain Kirk's the original, right? Captain Kirk fucked an alien, bro. Yeah. That's how disgusting men are. They put that on TV in was that the 80s or the early 90s?
But the only difference is they're not showing the women getting fucked by the aliens. I'm sure they would, but they'd be classy about it. The men's like, yeah, boys!
Yeah.
Mark Clara over here.
Yeah. But also, men create things. And
what? Women create life, bro?
Yeah.
Women create life. Are you saying women don't create anything? Are you saying women don't invent anything?
No,
is that what you're saying? They invent life.
They create life, but we just got to come at them first.
Yeah, we definitely get the, and that's again the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
We just need a little bit of resistance.
A little bit of friction.
Yeah.
A little bit of heat and moisture would be nice as well.
Now, is there anything that we need to tie up from last.
Oh, actually, I just
episode.
want to share a bit of a funny story because we're talking about like sex, and obviously I said like I'm a peacock and whatever because of the red shirt. So we're talking about signalling. So on the way here this morning, one of the reasons why I was late is because I had to stop to get fuel because my wife's allergic to putting fuel in the car and didn't tell me that it was empty. So anyway, as anyone who knows me will know, I don't take good care of my car. I drive the most vanilla vehicle that you can. It's a white Kia Cerato hatchback, 2017, in like very well serviced. It gets a bath every time it gets a service.
Here's the difference. So that's his car. I've just imported a car from Japan that is arriving. It's probably going to arrive in the next half an hour. I think I've been waiting 2 months for it.
You import most major things in your life from Japan.
So only the best stuff for me. But I care so much about what I drive that I went to the other side of the world to get one. Whereas you're just like, oh yeah, does that come in? Does that come in vanilla?
I bought it from where I work because I could buy it for cheap, and I treat it like it's a cheap thing. So anyway, so I'm at the servo, right? And I'm filling the car, and the car is filthy. Because we had a dust storm down the Gold Coast.
Oh yeah.
Which was like months ago, and my car's still feeling the effects of the dust storm.
I've been able to take the dust off your dashboard ever since it was new.
Yeah,
it's
getting pretty bad. Anyway, so I'm standing there, right, and I'm filling the car, and the most Gold Coast girl you can imagine drives in. She's driving a red Audi S3, and she drives in, and she goes straight to the Bowser next to me, gets out, and she's typical Gold Coast, right? So she's bleach blonde hair, fake lips, fake nose, fake tits, the works, dressed up, don't know where she's going. This is at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I don't think she's going to work, but she's dressed to the nines. Like, she's probably more dressed up than I got for my wedding.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Which is not hard. Anyway, so I'm standing there, and like, so she's filling her S3, I'm filling my dirty white Kia Cerato, and I'm just like, I felt this need to be like, sorry, I'm married.
Do you know what?
Because it's not even like, I know you're not interested in it, but I'm like, see, this is why I do these things, because I'm married now, I'm off the market anyway. So I've given up.
So you think that's what's protecting you? Is that car?
Well, I'm giving up. What's the point? What's the point of getting a flashy car now? What, so I get attention from people that I don't want?
But you've never had a flashy car.
Yeah, because I fucked up and got married in the marriage zone.
No, was there anything from the... I'm sure there was something that we were supposed to address. Again, lots of great feedback. We're loving the comments. A lot of people have been super supportive.
What we've really liked is that everyone seems to be into something different.
Yeah.
So I hope that people keep getting some stuff out of this as well.
We had the suggestion, and we again put your comments below. What do you think? Do you want us to split up? Because there's still a lot of stuff about the industry that we'd like to speak about, but there's also some shit talking that we'd like to do also.
Yeah.
Which one do you guys want to see? Do you want to see both? Can we have them split up as a playlist? Do you want to see two podcasts or something?
Yep.
Let us know what you think.
But this is pretty typical of the industry too, right? So in our industry, we talk about a lot of serious stuff and a lot of targets and training and all those sorts of serious things. But in and around that, my favourite part of the industry is the shit talking.
Yeah. Because
you're dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, like your fellow staff members, who it's that verbal sparring, right? You're going back and forth all the time. Because the number one job of a salesperson is to overcome objections.
Yes.
So when a customer comes in and goes, I want to test drive this, but I'm not buying today, like your job is to overcome that feeling of I'm not buying today. And this sort of sparring stuff is training, and it always has been training too. So, but yeah, definitely let us know what you're enjoying about it and what you're not. Do you have a thought provoker for the week?
We've already addressed it.
We kind of already have, haven't we?
It was the internet, and I proposed a new internet.
Yeah.
And I've got the solution for it too. So, any billionaires out there? No, I don't want it. No. I want the collective. I want us to create an internet for ourselves.
Well, I mean, really, the last bastion billionaire, but hero for mankind is Elon Musk, right?
100%.
So Elon, outer net, bro, come talk to us.
He's already created the outer net, man. Starlink. He's already got satellites in the sky providing internet for people. So he's already there.
So it's weak.
But yeah,
so he
you
just
need
needs
to turn them up. Like, so I reckon once we're on Mars, you just have to turn them like that so they fade. Or one down at Earth and one up so that when you want to talk to your bro...
I'm sure he's figured it out.
Yeah, he has figured it out.
But maybe when we move to Mars, you won't want to talk to Earth.
I think it'd be scummy.
Because getting back to the aliens thing before too, can you imagine being that like advanced alien race who flies over and zooms in on what the people are doing and everyone's just huddling around just banging sex robots? Can you imagine that? Look, we are devolving. We're devolving every single day as technology makes everything easier for us. We're actually going backwards as a society on the whole. Yeah. There are your bright lights like Elon Musk who are just going powering through and evolving and getting better every single day. But the average general Joe Blow is getting worse and worse and worse.
The movie Idiocracy.
Yeah, 100%.
The movie Idiocracy. How was the time?
It's 10 past 10 now. Got a little bit to go.
Is it? No, didn't we start a bit earlier? We can cut it. That's 45.
Okay. So can we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks so much for coming. I'm really, really sorry that you guys had to look at that fucking shirt the whole time. That is disgusting, and I want you to burn it. And
put in the comments below if you just want to see it every week, the same shirt.
I'd wear the same shirt every week.
Yeah, I know you would.
It's like a work
I
uniform.
wouldn't do that, but I like this shirt. I'm a fan.
RDO Podcast cups are not available. So if you want one of these, hit me up directly. Again, they're very rare, and you can't get the art to make your own cup directly off our Facebook page.
Okay.
That's it, guys. Thanks very much for coming. We'll see you next RDO.
Bye.